Hey everybody, happy Friday and welcome to Fanatic Forum. Tonight on the Fanatic Forum, we are live from the 3-decade arcade, and so we're going to take a look around this awesome hotspot in Etown. Plus, we'll be talking about some new books and other geek stuff. But first, after this. Everybody, happy Friday and welcome to the Fanatic Forum. I'm your Fanatic and host, George Bueller, and we got a fun one for you today. We are live at the 3-decade arcade here in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, and this place is amazing. It is a nostalgia trip like no other. I mean, we've got pinball, we've got arcade stand-ups, classic games like pool and what's the foosball. Yeah, we got foosball, air hockey, and an air hockey table, which is quite detrimental to the Fanatic here because my lovely wife, I can't win a game of air hockey. It doesn't matter what setting I'm in. I can't win at all with her. It's just, she's unbeatable. She's like Jordan, if there was a Jordan for air hockey. But yeah, so we'll see that table here, but there's been a lot of slaughter on there in my case. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in this week. If you haven't tuned in to the Fanatic Forum before, we are a show where basically we celebrate my specific passions, which I'm a big geek and have been a lifelong. So I have been a lifelong comics fan, movies, TV, pro wrestling, video games, whatever the case is. So I love sharing my passions with you guys. And so, yeah, it's just something I love doing, and hope you guys love it too. And anyway, so I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, so like, share, and subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. So anyway, before we get around to the arcade here, I do want to have show off a couple of comics here that I've got some good stuff this week. Because of course we always show off for new books here, so got some things I do want to share. First off, we got some good indies here this week. Here, got a couple of indies, couple of Marvel shared. I got one really, really special thing here. So, hey, Marianne, good to see you here. I'll put you up here. Good to see you, Marianne. Nice to see you. All right. So, I got to get a triple shot here from the Image. First off, the new issue of 8 Billion Genies came out this week. Charles Soule, Ryan Brown on this one here. This is such a fun book here. A great concept. If you didn't hear me talk about the first issue, basically everybody in the world gets their own genie and everybody gets one wish. So things get weird and crazy and hectic and whatever else pretty quick. But yeah, it's a great concept, a fun story. You see a lot of people like just, they kind of take the concept to the worst levels, and some people are kind of smart with their wishes and whatever else. But yeah, it's a really fun story so far. You kind of find out a little more of like the genies, kind of their whole culture and why they're doing this, and maybe what they think about our wishes and sort of stuff like that. But then the whole kind of fun thing too is that Amazon just announced that they're picking this show up for a series. This is issue 2 of this comic book, and it's only going to be 8 issues. So Amazon just got a new show that's going to be 8 episodes long, and so far it doesn't have a second season. So interesting. We'll see about that one. But yeah, love the book so far. Highly recommend checking that one out. I had to pick this one up because I love Chip Zdarsky, and a very interesting book. I wouldn't normally pick something up like this, but again, it's Chip, so there we go. But this is Public Domain. And a very interesting, very true-to-life story where you've got a comic book creator who early in his career created a superhero book, and decades later that became a bunch of superhero movies that made a whole lot of money, And while the original creator might not have made so much money, he's still kind of, one of the two creators still enjoys being the creator of the superhero property. The other one basically not so much. So, but you kind of get the point of view of the son of one of the creators and kind of how he feels about the whole thing, and that sort of situation there. So, an interesting book, and definitely want to check out the next issue here, see how things play out. Kind of leaves you on a good cliffhanger there. But yeah, it's though it's about the comic book and kind of the movie industry and sort of thing like that, it actually doesn't. There's not like a superhero in it. So, an interesting book for me to read. So there you go. The next book here, the next issue of What's the Furthest Place from Here. I've been talking about this book since it came out. I've been intrigued by it from the beginning. Supposedly set in a true event, real, biographical setting, except it's kind of a post-apocalyptic world where no adults exist, and you're basically, dealing with children and teenagers and whatever else, and they all have their own kind of different gangs and whatnot. It's just, and a very odd book, and I don't know how this exists in real life or whatever else. But the neat thing is that this issue kind of gets a little more behind the curtain, what's going on, gives them maybe a tiny bit of a backstory to some of the events that led us to where we are now. But almost as many questions as it answers, it poses even further questions. So still intrigued, still loving it, but I still have no idea what's going on. I'm there for it, though. I'm enjoying it. All right. Next two, I want to show a couple of Marvels here. The Wolverine patch miniseries. Really been enjoying this one here. Kind of a nostalgia book here because this was a certain era of Wolverine that was in the kind of the mid to late 80s. Even kind of revisited a few other times because it's, the patch persona is one that he's taken multiple times. So, but this is kind of like going back to that era, and it's even better because Larry Hama, who wrote a lot of those books, is back on the book here. So it's a mini series, but this third issue is really what old school Wolverine fans want. Is Wolverine just kicking butt? I mean, just it's of this miniseries, it's the most violent issue. And so if you're a Wolverine fan, yeah, definitely. The other issues are good. I think it's a 5-issue miniseries. It's either 5 or 6, but either way, definitely worth checking out. Last but not least here, Avengers number 57. And of course, Jason Aaron's run on Avengers has been fantastic. What's been going on currently is that Mephisto has gone throughout the multiverse and made his own group of Masters of Evil. And so you got like, a multiverse Doctor Doom. It's basically like the Supreme Doom. And you got all these other different guys here, all these, recognizable faces, but sometimes in different forms. But what the Avengers have decided to do is go throughout the multiverse themselves and get other heroes to help out. So the past few issues, we've been, introducing some of these different variants of, classic heroes we know, but there's something slightly off about it. In this issue, we're introducing us to Sergeant Zardoz, or Sadardoz, or it's a very weird name, but basically a Sorcerer Supreme from World War II. So he's from Cap's era, but he was a Sorcerer Supreme for a very limited time, well before Stephen was. But, Ancient One picked him. He's got the Eye of Agamotto, as you can see right there. But the interesting thing is that his weapon of choice is a breathing gun. So in Demonology, that's a pretty serious weapon. They'll take out some baddies real quick. So, yeah. Interesting book, but that particular issue is just a lot of fun. A really good, just well done story, really cool character, a very interesting take. So, highly recommend picking that one up. Even if you don't really read the regular Avengers title, it's just a really cool book. And speaking of cool books, I had to share something very special today. Of course, I've talked before, I'm a regular shopper at Clobbering Comics, and now I have the pleasure of working there a couple of days a week, just helping out, and I get to comb through their back stock and process books for all you lovely people. So yeah, it's some good stuff. But occasionally we get some amazing things that come through the door. And this week we had a woman come in who was trying to sell some books that her father had bought a long time ago, and it's all Golden Age stuff. So we're talking like 40s, 50s era books. some stuff you just don't see every day. And so that was just been amazing, just to be in the presence of some of these books. There's a lot of, like, some war books, and some there's a one issue Dick Tracy, some other kind of like cartoon characters. We did actually have a couple issues of Superman, a Batman, and a Detective Comics issue, so those are really exciting. But one book that actually went home with me today, and I got to give a shout out to Tommy Crane from Clyburn Comics for giving me a heck of a deal on this one. I really appreciate it. But this is something I had to share with you guys, very special here. This is Captain America issue number 48. This is pre-Marvel Captain America. This is World War II era Marvel Captain America here. As you can see, it is not in the greatest condition. It's very chewed up. It is complete. It's got a front and back cover on it. But, yeah, it's not in the greatest condition, but it is. I've never seen one of these in the wild, and now I own one. So, yeah, big shout out to Tommy Crane on this one here from Clyburn Comics. Thank you very much. So, yeah, but I had to share that with you guys because, it's an amazing thing to see. It's just really impressive. So, first we want to get to comic books for kids. Give them a shout out there before we give you a tour of the great three-decade arcade. So, hang on right now.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.
Hey, everybody. I just always love giving a shout out to Comic Books for Kids, a great charity, and something worth supporting there. So, and speaking of things worth supporting here, I've been live at the 3-Decade Arcade. I've been rattling on here for, 12 minutes talking about comic books. I haven't shown you guys any video games yet, and that's my fault. So, we're going to fix that right now here. So, I'm going to turn the camera away from me here. So, here's some of the lineup here of a lot of their coin-op games here. Some of these are some new furthest ones here, like this Pac-Man Pixel Bash, which basically features like tons of Pac-Man games, but you've got like all the Galagas on here. It's, Sky Kids, Splatterhouse, a favorite of mine. Rolling Thunder, another good one there. So lots of games here, so all kind of contained in one machine. And of course, you got Galaga, Ms. Pac-Man machine here, Hubert. One that I've always been impressed to find is a baby Pac-Man. And if you've never seen this one, this was a literal hybrid they did back in the day of you start off playing a traditional game of Pac-Man, and then at one point when you go off to the sides, you have to play a game of pinball. And, it's like a tiny pinball table compared to regular ones, but then when you lose your ball, you go back up and play Pac-Man again. So, something that's, you don't normally see those, and it's not often you find it out there. So, let's see here. Dave, you love Hubert. Yeah, that's a fun one. I got a pretty high score going there right now. So, let's see. Am I still on here? Oh, I've been knocked off the board on Hubert. So, all right. I have to fix that. Let's see here. Yeah, Dave Maggie says, Cubert's the first video game with bleep profanity. You're right, it is. Oh, that's great. Let's see. Cynical Caddy says, I've wanted to go there for a while. It looks like a lot of fun. Yeah, it really is. And let me show you guys around the arcade a bit more. So on the opposite side here of the room, of course, this is all the pinball tables they have here. So we've got a classic like Pinball right now. Fortunately, Back to the Future's out of order, but hey, that's what happens sometimes. This is an awesome game here. Godzilla, a fantastic table here. And of course, this is a lot of fun here. The multi-ball gets crazy on that game. We got NASCAR. This is an old machine here, Title Fight. This is awesome. Literally, like when you get up to this spot on the machine, you have to you basically get a boxing match, and so you'll see the dudes up here fighting. So that's really cool. Another classic F-14 Tomcat. Of course, you got newer machines here like the Hot Wheels. Ninja Turtles over here. This one's really cool, the Led Zeppelin machine. So, yeah. So there's all kinds of really cool, pinball tables they've got around here. And further back here, of course, we've got classics like Donkey Kong. And this is a cool Donkey Kong machine because it actually has all the Donkey Kongs in it. Donkey Kong Jr., so that's really awesome. A Mario Brothers machine that has the OG Mario Brothers plus Super Mario Brothers. So, and then we go further back here. Get some classic posters on the wall here. See, it's a nostalgia trip anywhere you go around here. And then back here is the newest addition to 3 Decade Arcade, the lovely mini bar back here. Say hi, Tyler.
What's going on, guys?
Actually, I'll come over to you. So, yeah. So, anywho, this is Tyler, by the way, who's one of the owners of 3 Decade Arcade.
Yes, sir.
So, tell us about, kind of your all's goal and kind of what your dream was about opening with this place.
When we started with this, with the retro arcade idea, our goal was to really just kind of connect people, just kind of give a place where people could just kind of hang back a little bit, take a breath. I think in today's time, everybody's just so worked up, everybody's so caught up in everything else going on that we kind of lose sight of what's really important. That's just kind of having fun, making memories. So, with our family starting this up, that's really just what we wanted to. That's our favorite thing to do, is just to have fun, act like little kids. So we just wanted to do something and offer something to our community that not only us, that we would enjoy, but everybody else would enjoy too. So that was really the big thing, just kind of being a light in our community and just kind of offering the space is, I don't know, it's very heartwarming when we grew up here, you know what I mean? We were always born and raised, and having some place like this be able to offer back to our community is really just, I don't know, it's almost too good to be true sometimes. So
that's awesome. And the nice thing is that you guys got a lot of that love back, from the community, because this, this is like, not even 8 o'clock right now. It's like you've got a decent amount of people here.
Yep.
It's like, there's some people that are still having dinner, some people haven't got off work yet. You guys are gonna get busy later on.
Yeah, usually once the sun goes down, that's when everybody kind of comes out, and that's when everybody wants to hang out a little bit. So that's usually our prime time. So you picked a good spot.
Nice, yeah. I mean, it's like I said, I love supporting this place here. And I mean, I grew up on a lot of these games. So yeah, I mean, of course, you guys are dangerously close to my house.
I know, yeah, we've heard about that. Yeah, now you have the comic book store up there, so we're hurting you, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of why I started working in one of those places. Right. I mean, so yeah, I mean, if you guys were hiring, then
well, hey, just give us a little bit. We'll get you there.
Nice, yeah. All right, we're gonna show around some more of the store here. So, well, thanks for talking to us. Appreciate it. All right, so yeah. Now here's what I was talking earlier about Slaughter. So this is a cool room because, of course, you've got a couple of great classic machines there. Another Pac-Man Pixel Bash. You've got Frogger. Of course, we got Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. There you go. But yeah, this little number right here. Yeah, I've had my butt kicked on this table more times than I care. Well, actually, it's been a lot. Let's just put this way. It's been a lot. And it's been because of this lovely lady right here. See?
Hello.
Yes, my lovely wife right here. So, light of my life and murderer of my scores.
Well, I like to keep you humble. It's really important that you just remember your roots, and that I win all the time at everything. So
there you go. Yeah. So you heard it here first. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that bar does look really cool, and it is nice. I mean, you got a nice array of just like different kinds of beers there. You got some seltzers and some cider, or if you want to do like your some like the cocktail pre-made stuff like that. So yeah, they got all kinds of stuff here. So it's nice. You get to have like a couple of cocktails, some beers or whatnot while you're playing around here. And of course, you get in the back room here. Can't forget stuff here. So got some other. They just recently got Turkey Hunting USA. Of course, they got Street Fighter 2, Galaga, Jake Doug. Yeah, I love this one back in the day. This is a centipede and millipede machine, so you get got pool, so all kinds of really awesome stuff. So Yeah, so it's definitely worth checking out here if you go in the Elizabethtown area. We are located downtown. Actually, hang on really. Sorry, I had to go over a step here. I was watching where I was walking. Let's see. Let me get up front here and yeah. All right. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, but yeah, this is really an awesome place here. Definitely got to check it out here. And of course, the nice thing too is that there, some of the more recent machines may be like 3 or 4 quarters, but then some of your classic machines are only like 1 or 2. So it's a fun place. You're not going to spend a lot of money. So of course, it's even though they have some beverages here, it's safe to bring the kids. There's Cokes, there's other snacks in here too. So it's just totally fun, family-friendly place here. So I think it's a good night spot too, because since we're located so close to downtown. Basically, you've got several bars and restaurants in the Elizabethtown area, and then like boom, here's the arcade right here. So see, all kinds of stuff to do here. So, well, I'm going to try to see if I can talk to the other owner, Justin, here, just as soon as he's done talking to some customers. So, bring it over this way here. Mr. Justin, you got a second chat? Woo! What's going on, baby? I didn't do my makeup today. I do apologize. Oh, that's okay. You don't need any makeup. So, this is Justin, one of the other owners here at 3 Decade Arcade here. So, you're definitely more of the technical side of things. You love getting in the guts of these machines here.
I've gotten good with learning YouTube. Let's just say that.
Well, I mean, it's definitely kind of, one of the facets of owning an arcade that has classic machines is that, you're going to have to do some operations from time to time and some repairs.
Yep. We've got pinball machines that came out of the box 6 months ago, and we've also got pinball machines that have been around the block for the last 35 years. So there's a little bit of give and take between some of them. Some of the newer ones are just as high maintenance as the older ones, believe it or not.
Crazy. Yeah. That's, I mean, it does make sense, but also at the same time, it's like, wow, it's something that's, 30, maybe even closer to 40 years old in some of these machines, and
break in.
Yeah, it's
time to break in. That's exactly.
Yeah, but they've been around for a little bit. That's you're right. So, so tell us where we are located currently. So
we are downtown Etown. It's on the opposite end of pretty much where all the fun stuff is. So you've got Imps and then BBT kind of up around the corner. We're down here on the very end of the block. It's 109 South Main Street, Suite 103. And if you're not really looking for it, you probably drive by it 5 times before you actually see it. But the building's about 100 feet back, but about 10 feet wide. So just look for a little white sign out front and some pinball machines. You should see those flashing through the windows.
Well, the nice thing is that, when it gets dark, this place stands out a little bit more.
Yes.
So, that's a nice thing. But yeah, actually, if you're going through the square in Elizabethtown, basically you follow it around, and then you turn the right onto Main Street, and then boom, they're right here. So if you get to JR Neighbors, you went too far.
You went on the wrong way.
Well, you just went past them. You just go right back around the square and make that right turn before you get to JR Neighbors. So right back there. Yeah, but of course you guys are open late, especially on the weekends. So that's a plus, being a nightlife spot. But summer hours too, you guys got extended into even the weekdays.
Yeah, we open. I think when we first opened up, we were closing at 8 on the weekdays now, and we're open till 10. So we've kind of made that little bit of progression through the summertime. Of course, nobody really wants to be out at 10 o'clock throughout January, so that's very understandable. So we'll probably roll with this throughout the summer, maybe through the fall, and then once winter time comes back around, we'll probably cut in late at night. That kind of deal.
And of course, basically with these classic games, of course, like your more recent arcades, you have like your ticket games, stuff like that. You get like cheap prizes and stuff like that. But this is old school stuff. So what we have to, tout is bragging rights for our high scores.
Those initials, baby.
Yeah, and you guys actually post high scores here too.
Yes, we've got a board over here for most of the games as well. A lot of the pinball machines, they will save it, so that's kind of not so much something we chase. But yes, a lot of the other ones, we do keep a board on in-house. We kind of keep that updated as we go.
Nice.
There's some pretty impressive scores on there, honestly.
They really are. And
Tetris, I think that took about an hour and a half.
wow.
1/4 on an hour and a half.
And if you may notice, right at the bottom underneath Rally X is a little hash marks there. That is this month's tally for air hockey between my wife and I. And yeah, it didn't go well for me.
You're down 2 right now. You can step it up a little bit. Man.
I'm down a lot more than 2.
I don't work that arm next time you're convicted.
I swear I've won a game of air hockey in my life, just not against the woman I married. Apparently, there's just some kind of kryptonite. It's not like I'm being like, misogynistic and letting her win. No, she's like
modest about it.
No, she's like legit winning. I am losing because she is a superior player, and I'm here to admit that. So there you go.
Have you swapped sides? Have we tried that out? Have you done trial and error on that?
Yes.
Yet?
Yeah.
You don't have a sweet spot yet?
Yeah, my wife's in my sweet spot does not exist. So I love her.
We'll get you a couple tallies on there soon.
God willing, But of course, aside from all your beverages and your snacks, stuff like that, you all do have some merch here for sale as well.
Yes, we are. This is our second print of T-shirts. We're wanting to do another one here soon. I don't have a date on that one just yet, but yes, we will be doing another reprint here very soon as well. This is actually the first one that we did. Kind of worth my mistake today.
Nice, there you go. Yeah, and I've got actually one of the old school shirts as well. So
One of the first prints.
yeah.
My cat was nice enough to put a hole right at the bottom of it for me.
See,
I'll have that forever.
isn't that lovely? So. Well, thank you so much for talking with us here, and thank you very much for having me out here. Because
Thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Appreciate you stopping in.
Yeah, I mean, because you got to support a place like this. I mean, it's like there aren't many arcades that are new that have popped up. I mean, you kind of get some of the larger cities might have some, but like Elizabethtown is still kind of a small town, and for a place like this is amazing to have here.
I think the closest one that I know of, I could be wrong, but I don't go outside very often, but I think the closest one from here is about 45 minutes away. It is kind of it's a little bit bigger, a little bit more of an epicenter, but I think that's the closest one is about 40 to 50 minutes away.
Yeah, and I think there's a pinball museum in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and so you can play those games as well. But yeah, I mean, as for like a classic running arcade like this, you don't really see.
I'm not even sure if Bowling Green. I haven't really even looked to see if they've got anything out there.
I have no idea. Yeah, I mean, of course, like in Louisville, Southern Indiana, you've got a place like Rec Bar, which is kind of like they've got arcade stuff, but they're also a restaurant and bar as well. So they're kind of all over the place. But yeah, you guys are a little more traditional. So.
Kind of to the roots, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah, I dig that. So let's see. We got some more comments here. Hey, Ryan's, what's up to you, sir? Regular viewer and also host of And I Quote. He's also saying favorite arcades are great. Oh, and wants to know, what is my favorite arcade game to play and why? Well, I'm representing one of them right here, Missile Command, Old School Jam.
That's 80. Is it 79 or 80?
79, I think, yeah. I don't know. So yeah, that's definitely, and Joust is also another favorite of mine. Not so much Joust 2. Joust 2 is okay, but it got a little weird.
Usually the first of anything is like that's the one. When they start doing the recreates of it, that's when it kind of falls off a little bit.
Sometimes the sequels tend to work out for newer games. The classic games, not so much, except for some of your shooters, like your Galagas and your Xevious, and
It started out as I know there was something before Galaxian, but I know Galaga is pretty much just a rip right off of Galaxian.
Yeah.
Other than the sounds, it's almost the same as that.
Well, I mean, honestly, all these games kind of came from Space Invaders. Yep. So, I mean, it's the same concept, But, yeah, those are a lot of fun. But I always love, especially if there's a Star Wars game, superhero stuff, always dug that. Kiss Pinball, if I ever found a Kiss Pinball machine.
I know of one in Rack.
That's dangerous.
It's tucked away, but I know there's one up there.
Oh, man. Uh-oh. My credit card doesn't want to hear that.
I'll take it from you.
There you go. All right. Yeah, that's what I do. I'll buy it for the arcade. Yeah, well, I was gonna say, I'll buy it for the arcade. I get free plays on it, and then when it breaks down, you can work on it.
There we go. I like it. That's a good one. Smart little deal. Not sure who's winning on that one.
I don't know. Let's see here. Oh yeah, so somebody's playing Galaga. One knows what we did. Yeah, so there's definitely a lot of Galaga love around here too. So, yep. All right.
It is a classic.
Well, I'm going to give you guys a tour around one more time here just to show off some of these other games for some of you who tuned in late. But yeah, so again, thank you so much for having us out. Really appreciate it, sir.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, so let's show you guys around one more time around here because yeah, there's some stuff that's really cool. So. All right, somebody's playing Godzilla right now. This is a sick pinball game, let me tell you. Yeah, the multi-ball, it gets really nuts, like I was saying earlier. But yeah, so like I said, we got classic stuff here, Title Fight, F-14 Tomcat, Hot Wheels, Ninja Turtles. Fast Break's a lot of fun. Didn't think I'd get excited about a basketball pinball game, but yeah, totally. Led Zeppelin's awesome. This company has kind of started doing all these like music pinball machines. So there's a Rush pinball machine. Led Zeppelin's got one. And the cool thing is like you can pick your favorite song by that artist while you're playing. So, and of course, there's all kinds of references throughout, those games as well. So if you're a fan of those bands, so you get all kinds of like references to their history as well. So, like I say, got classic stuff, Pac-Man Pistol Bash, Galaga. Somebody's playing Hubert, Tetris.
Oh, wait, my high score. I got the high score.
So, Donkey Kong, old school Mario Brothers. So, yeah, so a whole lot of love around here for classic arcade stuff. So, definitely a 3-decade arcade. It's a lot of fun. Highly recommend you guys checking it out here in Elizabethtown. And so, yeah. Ryan says, "Shut up and take my money." Yeah, okay. So you definitely got to come to Etown, Ryan. So just coming out from Maryland and do that. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for tuning in here. I'm gonna go play some pinball myself because I can't be in here and not play anything. So that's just a crime. Anyway, so you guys gotta come check out 3-Decade Arcade here in Elizabethtown, right here in downtown. Right past the square. So. And have yourself a couple of beverages while you're here too. So you guys have yourself a wonderful weekend. We're going to talk maybe next week about possible. Well, we won't be able to talk about Thor just yet because I'm not going to see it until Saturday, I think. So, but yeah, so we'll have some other good geek stuff to talk about next week. But yeah, we're on the cusp of Thor: Love and Thunder. Of course, the next half of Stranger Things has come out just today, so go see that. Yeah, so. All kinds of good geek stuff. So you guys have yourself a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time on the Fanatic Forum. Bye.